The talk surrounding the WNBA has reached a boiling point, and the numbers being thrown around only add fuel to the fire. Some say a massive multibillion-dollar meteor rights deal is on the table. Others whisper that the real figure is much higher, but one thing is certain. What's happened behind the scenes is far bigger than any broadcast contract. The WNBA has entered the most chaotic and electrifying era in its history. Viewership is shattering records, arenas are overflowing, rivalries are exploding, and the spotlight has never burned hotter. Yet in the middle of the bright lights and screaming crowds, the Indiana Fever, the team dominating every headline, is fighting battles that no stat sheet can measure. Beneath the surface lies a fractured locker room, a storm of egos, frustration, and clashing expectations, all orbiting around the league's newest superstar, Caitlin Clark. And at the center of the storm stands an owner, Steve Simon, watching everything he built teeter on the edge. Simon has always prided himself on being calm, analytical, and loyal to his people. But even patience has its limits. This season, he has watched his team unravel under the massive weight of attention and internal tension. The veterans feel overshadowed. The young superstar feels unsupported. The national media turns every foul into a breaking story and every sideline glance into a viral moment. The Fever, once America's feel-good underdog, suddenly became the league's biggest walking controversy. That shift didn't sit well with Simon, a man who wants order, professionalism, and a culture that reflects winning. And according to insiders, Simon has already taken his first major step toward fixing the chaos, reaching out to the only woman with the power, history, and presence to pull the Fever back from the cliff, Cheryl Miller. Cheryl Miller isn't just a legend in women's basketball. She is the blueprint. Before the WNBA existed, she carried the sport on her shoulders, built USC into a dynasty, rewrote every rule of women's athletics, and paved the way for the entire modern generation. Her influence didn't stop on the court. She shaped her brother Reggie Miller's career and, in many ways, the identity of Indiana basketball itself. When Steve Simon picked up the phone, he wasn't calling a coach. He was calling a solution. The conversation was simple. The Fever don't just need someone to run practice. They need someone to reset the culture, reestablish discipline, and command respect the second she steps into the gym. And when Cheryl Miller reportedly answered with the words that sent shockwaves through the league, everything changed. If she's coming in, she's coming to change everything. That declaration alone was enough to ignite social media. Because when Cheryl Miller says change, she means transformation. She means accountability. She means rebuilding a franchise down to its bones and sculpting something new from the ground up. For Caitlin Clark, this is the leadership she's been craving. Clark entered the WNBA as the most hyped rookie in league history, and the pressure hasn't given her a moment to breathe. She's selling out arenas, rewriting records, drawing millions of new fans, and carrying expectations that no rookie should ever face. Yet behind closed doors, insiders say she's reached a point of frustration, not with her teammates, but with the lack of structure around her. The Fever have talent, but talent without direction becomes noise. Clark has reportedly confided to teammates that the team has all the tools to win, but none of the system. That's where Miller becomes indispensable. She doesn't build teams, she builds standards. She walks into every room like she belongs there, and everyone else adjusts. Veterans don't argue with her. Rookies don't test her. Owners don't second-guess her. She doesn't chase fame or clout. Her legacy is her authority. When she speaks, people move. Simon knows this. Clark needs this. And the league itself could benefit from a figure with the strength to look past the social media-driven chaos and put the focus back on the game. Insiders reveal that Simon and Miller have quietly met in Indianapolis to discuss a consultant role, a sort of quiet entry point into the franchise. Many are calling it the role before the role, a way to introduce Miller into the organization without triggering immediate backlash or speculation. But make no mistake, if Miller steps in, she won't be there to observe. She'll be there to enforce. She'll be part coach, part advisor, part architect of a new era. She would be the one voice powerful enough to bridge the gap between the old guard and the new wave, a leader capable of turning tension into teamwork and pressure into performance. Imagine Caitlin Clark arriving at her first practice under Cheryl Miller. For the first time, she wouldn't be the strongest presence in the room. The cameras would flash, the gym would fall silent, and Clark would finally stand in front of someone who understands what it means to be the face of a sport. Miller wouldn't treat her like a phenomenon. She'd treat her like a legacy in progress, pushing her toward greatness, not popularity. Because Miller doesn't create stars, she refines champions. Steve Simon isn't just thinking about the Fever. He's reportedly envisioning a Miller-designed mentorship pipeline for the entire league, a system that brings legends like Lisa Leslie, Dawn Staley, and Tina Thompson into coaching and leadership roles. That is the kind of structural change the WNBA has lacked for decades, and Miller may be the only figure with the respect and influence to pull it off. She represents an era when respect had to be earned, when toughness mattered, when grit defined the game. Today's WNBA, filled with stars and storylines, has lost some of that foundation. Miller's return would bring it back. If she joins the Fever, the transformation would be immediate. No more confusion. No more drama overshadowing the game. No more battles for control. Cheryl Miller would walk in and take the reins without asking permission. Clark would finally gain the mentor she has needed since day one. Veterans would fall in line. The franchise would shift from chaos to purpose. And perhaps, for the first time this season, winning basketball would take center stage again. The impact wouldn't stop at the franchise level. Other owners would follow Simon's lead. Legends would return. Coaching culture would evolve. The WNBA would enter a new era defined not by drama, but by discipline, identity, and legacy. Because Cheryl Miller isn't just another name. She's a foundation women's basketball was built on. She knows where the league came from, sees where it is now, and understands what it can become. Caitlin Clark, carrying the weight of the league on her back, needs someone who can guide her through the fire, someone who knows pressure, someone who has walked that road. With Miller, Clark could rise from rookie sensation to generational champion. Simon wants more than a team. He wants a dynasty. And Cheryl Miller may be the only person alive who can give him one. If the rumors are true and that phone call wasn't just talk, we may be witnessing the rebirth of the Indiana Fever and the dawn of a new WNBA era. Because if Cheryl Miller steps back into the game now, the league that exists today will not be the league we see tomorrow. Do you think Steve Simon should bring Cheryl Miller to the Indiana Fever to mentor Caitlin Clark and reshape the franchise? Share your thoughts below. And if you believe a return could redefine the WNBA, drop a comment saying bring her back. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more deep dive stories and behind the scenes drama shaping the future of women's basketball.